ID 91852, variant, standard, title. Expand key point 1, the power of perception, Muniba Mazari style. You know what's interesting about life? It's never about what happens to us, it's about how we choose to see what happens to us. Two people can go through the exact same situation, but one breaks and the other blossoms, and the only difference is perception. The way we see the world shapes the world we live in. If you focus only on the darkness, that's all you'll ever notice. But if you train your eyes to look for light, even a small spark becomes enough to guide your way. The truth is, your perception is your reality, and until you change the lens through which you look at life, you'll keep repeating the same story again and again. I remember when I was lying in that hospital bed, unable to move, unable to do the simplest things on my own. The pain wasn't just physical, it was emotional, it was spiritual. People would come to see me and they would say, "You're so unlucky," and for a moment I believed them. I thought, yes, maybe I am, but one day I realized something powerful. What if this wasn't punishment? What if this was protection? What if this was a new beginning dressed as an ending? And that shift in perception changed everything. I stopped seeing my wheelchair as a symbol of limitation and started seeing it as a symbol of liberation. Because it gave me something many people never find, the purpose to live beyond myself. You see, when you change the way you look at life, life changes the way it looks at you. The people who once pitied me began to see strength. The opportunities I thought were gone started appearing in new forms. That's the beauty of perception. It creates the world you experience. If you look at challenges as curses, you'll suffer. But if you look at them as classrooms, you'll grow. Life isn't happening against you. It's happening for you, to teach you, to stretch you, to help you evolve into who you were always meant to become. But let's be honest, changing your perception isn't easy. It takes courage to look at pain and say, "What are you trying to teach me?" It takes strength to look at rejection and say, "Your redirection." It takes faith to look at failure and say, "You're forming me into something greater." Most people spend their lives reacting instead of reflecting. They see problems where there are possibilities. They complain about what's missing instead of appreciating what's present. The mind is powerful. It will always find evidence for what you choose to believe. So if you believe your life is full of struggles, you'll see only struggles. But if you believe your life is full of lessons, you'll see wisdom everywhere. Sometimes you must silence the noise around you and ask yourself, how am I perceiving my life right now? Are you seeing yourself as a victim or a victor? Are you focusing on what's gone wrong or what's still right? Because your answers will determine how you walk through this world. Life is too short to spend it with eyes fixed on pain, when there's beauty all around waiting to be noticed. The sunrise doesn't stop shining because of your storm. You just have to lift your head to see it. Perception is like a mirror. You see what you reflect. If your heart is full of gratitude, you'll start seeing blessings even in brokenness. If your mind is full of negativity, even blessings will look like burdens. So take control of your lens. Start each day with the decision to see the good, even when it's hard. Train your mind to find light in the cracks. Because when you start to perceive differently, your emotions change, your energy changes, your relationships change. You begin to attract what aligns with your higher vision, not your old fears. The power of perception is the difference between saying, "My life is over," and saying, "My new chapter has just begun." It's the difference between sinking and soaring. So, my friend, don't let your eyes deceive your heart. Don't let one dark moment convince you that the whole journey is dark. Learn to see the silver lining even when the sky is gray. Because when you choose to change the way you see life, you unlock the power to change the life you see. ID 41283, variant, standard, title. Expand key point 2. Your mind is the beginning of change. Muniba Mazari style. Everything in your life begins in one place. Your mind. That's where battles are won or lost long before you take your first step. You can change your clothes, your home, your job, even the people around you, but if you don't change the way you think, nothing will truly change. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality. Whatever you feed your mind, you'll start to see it reflected in your life. If your mind is full of fear, your path will feel like a battlefield. But if your mind is full of faith, even the toughest roads will feel like training grounds preparing you for greatness. The mind is powerful beyond measure. It can create heaven in the middle of chaos or hell in the middle of peace. You decide which one it becomes. I've met so many people who say, I want to change my life. But when you listen closely, their words are still full of doubt. Their thoughts are still rooted in the same pain they refuse to let go of. Change cannot begin in your circumstances. It begins in your mindset. The day you tell your mind, I am ready to see things differently, you start shifting the energy that builds your reality. When I found myself confined to a hospital bed, I had two options. I could let my thoughts drown me, or I could train them to save me. The first few days, I kept asking myself, why me? But soon I realized that the question was only adding to my misery. So I replaced it with what now? And that one change of thought changed the entire direction of my life. I started focusing on what I could control instead of what I couldn't. My body was broken, yes, but my spirit wasn't. My mind was still alive, and as long as my mind was alive, I had the power to rebuild my world from within. You have to understand, your mind listens to everything you tell it. If you say, I can't, it will shut down every possibility of I can. If you say, I will try, it will start searching for ways to make it happen. Your thoughts are not harmless whispers, they are commands to the universe. That's why it's so important to guard your mind as if it were a garden, because whatever seeds you plant, there will eventually grow. Plant fear and you'll reap anxiety. Plant courage and you'll harvest strength. Every great transformation begins when you decide to change what you feed your mind. Many people wait for life to get easier before they think positively, but it doesn't work that way. You think positively first and life becomes lighter. You choose hope first and the path becomes clearer. You choose growth first and your obstacles start turning into opportunities. The world outside you is simply a mirror reflecting what's happening inside you. That's why when you calm your thoughts, you calm your storms. When you believe in yourself, the universe believes in you too. It's easy to blame the world, to say, if this person hadn't hurt me, I'd be fine. Or if I had more money, I'd be happy. But happiness and peace are not found in conditions, they're found in consciousness. It's not what happens that breaks you, it's how your mind chooses to interpret it. That's why self-mastery begins with mental discipline. You must teach your mind to serve you, not enslave you. Every time a negative thought arises, don't feed it, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this helping me or holding me back? That single question will start cleaning your mental space. The mind is like a compass. It will point you in the direction you set it to. If you constantly dwell on the past, you'll stay stuck there. But if you start envisioning the future you desire, your mind will begin finding ways to lead you there. That's not wishful thinking, that's focus, that's discipline, that's power. And that's what separates those who change their lives from those who merely dream of change. So, the next time you feel lost, remember, you don't need to change your whole world overnight. You just need to start changing your thoughts one at a time. Every positive thought you hold, every belief you reinforce, every time you choose faith over fear, you are building the foundation for a new reality. Because when your mind believes in possibility, your life begins to mirror it in ways you never imagined. Change your mind and everything else will follow like a shadow chasing the light. ID 66104, variant, standard, title, expand key point 3, the gift hidden in pain, Muniba Mazari. Style: pain has a strange way of entering our lives. It never knocks, it never asks for permission, and it never comes gently. It crashes in like a storm, breaking everything you thought was solid, shaking every belief you once held. But here's the truth: pain is not your enemy. Pain is a messenger. It's the universe's way of saying, it's time to grow. It's time to stop living on the surface and start discovering the depth of who you really are. Every wound you carry hides a gift inside it, a lesson, a strength, a new beginning. But you can only receive it when you stop running away from it. When I faced my own pain, I didn't see it as a gift. I saw it as the end of everything. I remember lying in that hospital bed, motionless, thinking my life was over. People around me whispered words of pity, telling me how tragic my story was, and for a while I believed them. But one night, in the silence of that room, I realized something profound. Pain was not there to destroy me, it was there to awaken me. It was there to teach me patience, gratitude, and resilience. It was there to strip away everything false so I could finally meet my true self. That's when I stopped asking why me and started asking what is this trying to teach me? And that question changed everything. You see, we live in a world that avoids pain. We want comfort, ease, instant results, constant happiness. But growth doesn't happen in comfort. Growth happens in discomfort, in heartbreak, in loss, in those silent nights when your soul feels like it's breaking apart. Pain carves you open so something new can enter. It humbles you. It breaks your ego. It teaches you empathy, because only someone who has fallen knows how to help others rise. The people who shine the brightest are often the ones who have walked through the darkest valleys, because they learned how to carry light within themselves. Pain changes your perspective. It forces you to slow down and look at what really matters. It teaches you that people and moments are far more valuable than things. It teaches you to appreciate laughter after tears, sunshine after storms, and most of all, it teaches you that happiness is not the absence of pain. It's the ability to find meaning within it. When you start seeing pain as a teacher, you stop being afraid of it. You begin to trust that every difficult experience is preparing you for something greater. So many people waste their pain. They complain, they curse, they resist, and in doing so, they miss the transformation that pain brings. But the moment you surrender and say, "Okay, pain, I'm listening," you open the door to wisdom. Pain teaches you to let go of control. It shows you that sometimes losing is winning in disguise. It shows you that strength isn't about never falling. It's about rising again and again, even when every part of you is trembling. Pain refines you. It polishes your soul like fire refines gold. It's not there to punish you. It's there to prepare you for the person you are becoming. I often say, when pain knocks at your door, don't hide from it, invite it in, sit with it, listen to what it's trying to say. Because behind every tear there is truth, behind every scar there is a story, behind every heartbreak there is healing waiting to happen. Pain will change you, yes, but you decide how. You can let it make you bitter, or you can let it make you better. You can let it harden your heart, or you can let it soften you into compassion. The choice is yours. And one day you'll look back and realize that the things that hurt you the most were the very things that shaped you the most. The people who walked away taught you self-worth. The failures that crushed you taught you perseverance. The heartbreak that broke you taught you love in its purest form. That's the hidden gift of pain. It doesn't take from you, it transforms you. It shows you that you are far stronger, wiser, and more capable than you ever imagined. Pain is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your rebirth. ID of 33,922, variant, standard, title, expand key point 4, gratitude over complaint, Muniba Mazari style. Destroying them, ATITUDE, is one of the most powerful forces in the world, yet it's also the one we forget most easily. We wake up every morning surrounded by blessings and still find reasons to complain. We focus on what's missing instead of what's present, on what went wrong instead of what's still right. And that, my friend, is where we lose the beauty of life. The truth is, gratitude doesn't change your circumstances, it changes you. It shifts your energy, your perception, your heart. When you choose gratitude over complaint, you are not denying your pain. You are deciding that your pain will not define you. You are saying, yes, life is hard, but I'm still here, breathing, learning, growing. And that is power. When I lost the ability to walk, I also lost the version of myself that used to take everything for granted. I used to complain about the smallest things, about being late, about things not going my way, about imperfections. But the day I found myself confined to a hospital bed, I realized how precious every small thing really is. The ability to move, to breathe without pain, to smile, to be able to hug someone. These are miracles we forget to see until they're gone. I remember one morning, after months of darkness, I looked out the window and saw sunlight falling on my face. That warmth, that single ray of light made me cry, not because of sadness, but because of realization. Gratitude had returned to me, and with it, a new vision of life. You see, complaining blinds you, but gratitude opens your eyes. When you complain, your mind begins to search for more reasons to feel miserable. But when you practice gratitude, your mind starts noticing everything that's beautiful, everything that's working, everything that's possible. The energy you send out becomes the energy that returns to you. If you keep saying nothing ever works for me, then life will echo that belief. But if you say, I'm thankful even in this, life begins to reward you with moments that remind you why you should be. Gratitude doesn't remove problems, it transforms how you face them. It takes courage to be grateful in the middle of chaos. Anyone can be thankful when everything is perfect, but it takes true strength to say, I am grateful even now. When you shift from why me to try me, you stop being the victim of your story and start becoming its author. Gratitude gives you resilience. It builds a shield around your heart that no negativity can penetrate. It helps you see meaning in pain, lessons in loss, and beauty in brokenness. Because the truth is, even on your worst days, there's still something to hold on to. A kind word, a loving friend, a moment of silence, a heartbeat. That's enough reason to whisper thank you. The world will always give you reasons to complain. There will always be things you wish were different. But when you live in gratitude, you begin to realize that life owes you nothing, yet it gives you everything. Every morning you wake up is another chance to start again. Every failure is another lesson pushing you toward growth. Every heartbreak is another reminder of how deeply you can love. Gratitude transforms ordinary days into blessings, routine jobs into joy, and simple moments into miracles. The secret is not in having everything, it's in appreciating everything. When you stop chasing what's missing and start cherishing what's already here, your life begins to bloom in ways you never imagined. You attract peace instead of anxiety, love instead of resentment, and abundance instead of lack. And that's when you understand that happiness was never about getting more. It was about noticing what you already have. So, choose gratitude today. Choose to say thank you even when things aren't perfect. Choose to find light even when you're surrounded by shadows. Because gratitude is not about ignoring pain, it's about remembering that even in pain, you still have purpose. It's about shifting from complaint to contentment, from bitterness to blessing, from scarcity to sufficiency. And once your heart learns to say thank you for everything, your life will start to reflect everything worth thanking for. ID 72,590, variant, standard, title, Expand key point 5. Redefining beauty, strength, and success, Muniba Mazari style. The world has taught us to measure beauty by faces, strength by muscles, and success by wealth. But let me tell you something, those definitions are illusions. Real beauty is not in the face, it's in the heart. Real strength is not in the body, it's in the spirit. And real success is not in the trophies you collect, it's in the lives you touch. The problem is that we've been told to look outward for validation instead of looking inward for value. We chase after the world's approval while forgetting that the greatest approval we'll ever need is our own. You can spend your whole life trying to fit into society's standards, or you can rise above them and create your own. Because the day you redefine what these words mean to you, that's the day you truly become free. I once believed beauty was about perfection. I thought it was about flawless skin, a perfect smile, the ability to walk with grace. But life took all that away from me. And in the beginning, I felt broken, incomplete, invisible. But one day, as I stared at my reflection, I realized that beauty had never left me. It had just changed its form. Beauty wasn't the way I looked. It was the way I smiled despite the pain. It was in the way I spoke kindness even when my heart was aching. It was in the courage to show up as I was without pretending. That's when I learned that true beauty begins the moment you stop trying to be perfect and start embracing yourself exactly as you are. The same goes for strength. People often think strength means never crying, never breaking, never falling apart. But strength is not the absence of weakness, it's the courage to rise despite it. I have met people with strong bodies but weak minds, and I have met people who could barely move but carried entire worlds within their hearts. Strength is in vulnerability. It's in admitting I'm not okay, but still choosing to keep going. It's in the quiet perseverance of those who fight silent battles every single day without applause or recognition. True strength is soft, humble, and rooted in love, not ego. The strongest people are not those who never fall. They are the ones who refuse to stay down when they do. And then there's success, the most misunderstood word of all. We've been told that success means having more money, more fame, more followers. But what's the point of having everything if you lose yourself along the way? What's the point of climbing the highest mountain if your heart feels empty when you reach the top? Success, my friend, is not about reaching a destination. It's about living with purpose on the journey. It's about waking up each morning knowing that your existence makes a difference. It's about spreading love where there is hate, hope where there is despair, light where there is darkness. The world might never applaud you for being kind, but that doesn't make your kindness any less successful. When you redefine beauty, strength, and success on your own terms, you take back your power. You stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. You stop trying to prove your worth to people who can't see your value. You start focusing on growth instead of perfection, meaning instead of materialism. You stop asking, am I enough? And start declaring, I am enough. Because you are, you always have been. The only thing that needed to change was the way you saw yourself, so let the world keep its definitions, you create your own. See beauty in your scars because they tell your story. See strength in your tears because they show your courage. See success in your compassion because it changes lives. Don't let society's shallow standards limit your infinite depth. The mirror might reflect your face, but only your soul reflects your truth. Remember, it's not about becoming like others. It's about becoming the truest version of yourself. Because when you embrace your imperfections, own your story, and live with purpose, you become something the world can't define. You become unstoppable, unshakable, unforgettable. ID 48,713, variant, standard, title. Expand key point 6, be the light you seek, Muniba Mazari style. We all look for light in this world. We chase it in people, in achievements, in recognition, in love. We hope someone will come and fix us, guide us, inspire us, make us feel whole. But here's the truth. You are the light you've been looking for all along. You carry within you the same power you admire in others. The same strength, the same resilience, the same divine spark. The moment you stop searching for light outside yourself and start recognizing it within, your entire life begins to glow differently. You no longer walk in darkness waiting to be saved. You start illuminating the path for yourself and for others. There was a time when I felt invisible, lost, and hopeless. I would look at others who seemed happy, strong, and confident, and I'd wonder, how do they do it? How do they shine so brightly while I'm sitting here in the dark? But then I realized they weren't born shining. They became light by walking through darkness and choosing not to let it consume them. That's what you must do too. Don't curse the darkness around you. Use it as the backdrop against which your light can shine even brighter. Remember, stars are not seen in daylight. They're born to shine in the night. When you start becoming the light you seek, something incredible happens. You stop waiting for people to understand you. You start understanding yourself. You stop craving validation. You start valuing yourself. You stop saying, I'll be happy when things get better, and instead you decide, I'll be happy because I'm still here. You start to realize that your light doesn't depend on circumstances. It depends on choice. Every time you choose kindness over bitterness, faith over fear, peace over chaos, you are adding another flame to your light. And soon, you begin to see that the power to transform your life was never outside of you. It was within you, waiting to be awakened. You have no idea how many lives your light can touch. Sometimes a single word of encouragement, a smile in someone's dark day, a helping hand, a listening ear. Those small gestures become lifelines for someone else. The world is full of people carrying silent pain, and you may never know whose heart you heal just by being kind. So, when life feels dark, don't dim your light, increase it. Don't withdraw your warmth, share it, because your light doesn't lose strength when shared, it multiplies. The brighter you shine, the more others find their way. But being the light is not always easy. It means staying gentle in a world that can be cruel. It means forgiving when it's easier to hate, every standing tall bow at when you feel like falling. Story, it means believing in hope even when your heart is breaking. And yes, sometimes you'll feel like your light is flickering, like you have nothing left to give, but even then, remember this. Your smallest spark still has the power to ignite hope in others. You don't have to be perfect to be a light, you just have to be real. When you walk into a room filled with negativity, be the one who radiates peace. When others complain, be the one who appreciates. When the world chooses hate, choose love, because every time you do, you prove that light is stronger than darkness. And the best part, the more you focus on being the light, the less you'll feel trapped by the darkness around you. You'll begin to attract people, opportunities, and moments that match your glow. So, stop waiting for the world to give you light, become it. Stop wishing for inspiration, be someone's reason to believe again. Stop saying, I wish someone understood me. And start being the person who understands others. Because every time you lift someone up, you rise too. Every time you shine for others, your light grows stronger. You are not meant to just exist in this world, you are meant to illuminate it. You are meant to remind others that no matter how dark it gets, light always finds a way through. So, hold your head high, let your heart be kind, and let your soul shine so brightly that others remember there's still good, still hope, still love, and still light left in this world.